ready because you have a very, very tough schedule in the movie business. In the movie biz, it's very hard. Above all, Claudio, you are the last ring of the chain. They are waiting only for you. And every time they call you, did you finish? Have you done? It's time we have to mix. We have to see the movie. We have to finish. So it's very tough, and it happens that you work 18 hours a day, night and day for 1 or 2 months.
Wow.
It happens.
So in average, it could take up to 2 months to write a...
It's up to the movie. Could be. Could be if you need, if you have a movie of 3 hours and you need 2 hours of music, you need, sometimes you need, you can consider, Claudio, to write, if you want to write in 1 day, you can write a symphonic score, or Philharmonic symphonic score, very big score. You can consider something around 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes a day. Maximum 2 minutes a day.
My God.
But if you are going to afford an action movie, 2 minutes, it's not. No, maybe 1 minute for an action movie.
Wow, I didn't know that was take. Yeah.
It's hard. It's tough.
Yeah. So you devote yourself to whatever 2 months, working 7 days a week, day and night.
Sometimes 2 months, sometimes 1 month, and of course it's up to the movie. And you work on Christmas, Christmas Day or Eve, Christmas Eve. You work on whatever, night and day. You have to. They are not interested in your
life.
Exactly. They
your personal life.
Just want the soundtrack. They just want the music.
Yeah, and they will call you every day. It's rain.
There is something interesting to understand that when you produce a movie, you don't have all the producer normally don't have the money altogether. He got the money step by step from other producer, from banks, from all over. But if you present your movie without the music, the guy who gave you the money, they don't understand the movie. And say, you can say, okay, on this scene we will have the music of the love theme. It doesn't work. They don't understand. So they often use temp track, keeping music from other films, from other movies. But at the very end, they are waiting just for you with the original soundtrack.
To put your music, right? With the money now is on the table, and people.
Of course, they want to. They have to show the final cut with the music too, to all the guys who made who put the money. That's very important.
Yeah. Has it happened to you that they shoot the movie, you have to do the music, it's ready, and then the financiers say, no, I don't like it, I want back up? What happened? Is it an unused music? It has happened?
You are talking about the rejected soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm lucky, it never happened to me. But there are a lot of examples, very famous example in the score history. For example, the most famous probably is Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Stanley Kubrick called Alex North, a very famous and a great composer, and asking him to compose all the soundtrack for 2001 Space Odyssey, okay? And he recorded the most 40 minutes of music for that movie, okay? But when he recorded in London, when he went in LA to see the first control spotting, he realized that there wasn't one note he wrote, because Stanley Kubrick only used music from Ligeti, from Strauss, from everything from classic composer. He didn't use one note from Alex North.
Wow.
No, there is no one note. There is no note from, no one cue, no note from. But when Alex North died, his friend Jerry Goldsmith, very, very famous American soundtrack composer, decided to record the original soundtrack by Alex North, and exists, and I have the album, the Alex North reacted score that conducted by Jerry Goldsmith. This is a sad story, but it's true.
Yeah. Wow. No, I didn't know that. Yeah. Also, if you remember the movie, the original movie, The Exorcist, from 1973, they
tubular bells.
Yeah, they end up they hired another film composer to do it, and the director, no, this is terrible, I don't like it, and then he ended up using Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells. So
Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells.
Oh, that's a beautiful, that's a very scary movie for me.
It was very scary. You know, Claudio, I saw that movie once in my life when I was 18. Yeah. I don't want to see it anymore. It's scary too much. Also, I'm 64 actually, but I can't see that movie.
I have seen that movie about 10 times, okay? I know exactly the script. I know exactly what is going to happen. I know exactly, and still I get scared all the time.
But you know,
the movie was so well done, and the soundtrack so appropriate that I still get scared after 10 times, and I know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, but you know why? I think you are from Chile.
From Chile?
No, from Chile. Yeah. I am from Rome, Vatican. So both, we know very well what is the devil and what about the Christianity. Because for us, okay, it's a fiction, it's a fantasy movie, but there is something could be true. That's why it's so scary, I think, for us.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very, very good movie. I get scared all the time that I see that. The movie. Yeah, you have to do I think you're right, because in our brain, right? I grew up in a Catholic family, and in Italy, everybody with the Pope and everybody.
Of course,
the majority of people are Catholic. You know, they look at the devil and say, no.
We have the exorcist in Rome. We have the real exorcist in the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
they have 115 exorcists, real exorcists.
Yeah.
So it's something that is a movie, but could be true. Who knows? I mean, it's scary. Yeah. That's why it's scary. It's so scary for us. Maybe it's not so scary for
other right. Exactly. The priest, the bishop that wrote the ritual, it was from Chile.
Yeah, I know. No, very, very well. He's a great actor.
Yeah. He wrote. It's a very, very famous guy in Chile. It's complicated stuff, man. And what looking back in your career, right? You have done a lot of stuff. Is any particular, whether the movie was popular or not, is any particular music that you are, the most proud of, in your opinion?
There are a lot of music that the last one. I mean, the last one is every time is the best for me.
Yeah,
because as I told you at the beginning of our interview, it's something that moves me to go every time to do something better. The last one is the one I prefer, maybe because I changed several kinds of genres of music. Maybe for this, the last one is every time is the best.
The best one you have ever done. Yeah, I got you. And I wanna bring you to a couple of following track. I always listen to some of your music in Spotify, and feel free to elaborate in this particular track called Timing. I got that from an album. I think it was a classical string compilation. The time is about, I think, like 3 minutes or so. It moves me a lot. It's very. Feel free to elaborate how you compose it. It's a beautiful.
Timing is a title of a cue from a short movie.
Yeah.
The movie was called 15 Seconds.
Yeah.
And it was a film against the death penalty. Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
15 Seconds, the title, is the duration of the shock of the electric chair.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's a very dramatic cue. I remember what you're talking about. And it is the tragic story of a man sentenced to death. I wrote this dramatic theme initially only for piano solo, okay? But probably the version you listen to is the one I recorded later with two great Italian musicians with whom I have the honor of collaborating for years, Luca Pincini and Gilda Buttà, respectively cello and piano. You probably listen to cello and piano version.
Yeah, that's the one that I know. Yeah.
These two guys, they often play this cue during their concert all around the world, and I love them and they are such a beautiful performers. I often work with them. I love them. Luca Pincini and Gilda Buttà.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much. What about the Orgoglio from the album Capitolo?
Orgoglio.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know, you like the. It means pride in English. Orgoglio.
In English. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful story because also it involves my private life. I was starting to work on this television series from the Rai. You know, Rai is the Italian network.
Yeah.
I started to work to this, which then lasted 3 years because there are 39 episodes in 3 years.
Yeah.
It is a melodic, it's a drama. It's a drama set in the early years of the last century. The story of a young and beautiful, rich, noble girl who falls in love with a farmer. Classic. I mean,
of course.
Now, listen, Claudio, this is interesting. Normally, we composers, when we write a love theme, we have to fall in love with the characters very quickly. I mean, write something believable. And you have to do most of the time, you don't know the actress, but you have to figure out how to fall in love with her. Well, in that case, Orgoglio, it was not difficult at all because the female protagonist was the one who would soon become my wife.
Really?
Really. And
wow.
the music theme you're talking about, that cue is dedicated to her, and is entitled Per lei, and per lei in Italian is for her. Anyway, after 20 years, we are still together.
That's good.
Nice story, huh? Nice story.
Of course, yeah. So when the director, when the movie producer pay you, you know, for composing, you need to give the check to your wife because you did it. She did half the amount, right? You know, it's a really beautiful piece. And I saw the Capitolo. I think you mentioned that 23 episodes in general. You mentioned
the Orgoglio, 39 episodes in 3 years.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I recorded in Sofia in Bulgaria with the CIF 309. That's a wonderful symphonic orchestra of the national radio, Bulgarian national radio.
Yeah,
I often conducted that orchestra for almost 20 20 times for 20 soundtracks, something around.
Yeah. How many soundtracks have you done? You know?
Yeah, if you consider the title, just the title, for example, you have to share the situation. I mean, for example, Orgoglio are 39 episodes.
Right.
One episode is almost 2 hours. And I wrote all the episodes in 3 years. And actually, they are 39 movies. But I consider only one title, Orgoglio. So if you consider just the title, I wrote something around 100 projects.
Yeah, good. Wow, it's a lot, man.
If you consider the episodes, I wrote more than 300.
Right, if you consider, yeah. Everything is available on CD or soundtrack, or some stuff have been lost?
Yeah. There is you can go, first of all, you can go to my site.
Yep.
www.stefanomainetti.com.
Yeah.
If you go there, you can find all the links about especially the stores, the online stores specializing in soundtracks. But also, if you go on YouTube, on YouTube and you digit my name and music, you find a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Do you get? Of course, you get paid when people go to YouTube and listen to your stuff, right? You get a click, and every so often you get paid a little bit, because sometimes they don't get paid at all.
There is a sad story. It's a sad story, Claudio, this one, because YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all the streaming music, there is very, 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 very few money from that. Very, very few money from that. Almost nothing.
Wow.
Almost, it's different. It worked when you used to buy the CD. It worked, but with the streaming, very few money.
Wow. So the only way, and I don't know if you're familiar with the website, the Bandcamp.
No.
With Bandcamp, when people buy your music, right? Then you get paid.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Of course,
you get a good percentage.
Yeah,
but just the streaming, you get 0.0007.
Streaming is a disaster for composers all over the world.
Yeah, it's tough. I didn't know that you got paid that less. So the only way for you to make money is right now for the stream. Keep on composing, and then or sell. People go into your website and buy a CD or an album, a vinyl, whatever from your school. Otherwise, you won't get paid anything, right? So.
Yeah, or you are paid. You are hired by the producer when you write a soundtrack.
Correct. Yeah, that's the way you can do it. And another one that I like is Salmo 23 from the album Il Signore il mio pastore. It's very emotional for me. That's a beautiful piece. Right?
Yeah. That's a part of my spiritual kind of music that I afford in my life. Salmo 23 is a work that was commissioned by the Vatican. And the melodies are by Piera Cori, also singers. And I wrote the instrumental parts, the arrangements, I made the arrangements, and I played the guitars and the keyboards. Lyrics are in Hebrew. And if you remember, she says every time, Adonai roi exar, Adonai roi lo exar. It means the Lord is my shepherd.
Yeah.
Lord is my shepherd.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful piece. Also, I noticed in your discography that you composed the music from The World of Promise, which is an audio drama of the Bible. I think there are like 79 CDs or 80 CDs, something like that.
79 CDs. And, it's a strange story. The Word of Promise is a strange story. It took me more than 2 years to write that project. And it was almost 10 years ago. Yeah, it was. I tell you the story, Claudia, anyway. It was 2004, and Mel Gibson was filming The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And, the protagonist of The Passion of the Christ was Jim Caviezel. And Jim, during the shooting, loved training by listening my music. I recorded I don't know if you read something, maybe I can tell you later on. I recorded 3 albums for the Popes, writing music for the Popes. And Jim Caviezel loved the kind of music I wrote. And he used to train to prepare the scene for The Passion of the Christ, listening to my music.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about this. Anyway, so Jim asked Mel Gibson to hire me to compose the score for The Passion of the Christ. But the production has already made previous arrangements. But I didn't know anything about this, okay? 1 year later, Jim Caviezel became the protagonist of this audio drama, The Word of Promise. Jim Caviezel is the protagonist of this audio drama. And he remembered he liked my music. So he asked the producer to reach me to write the soundtrack of this project.
Gotcha, yeah.
Which, as you say, is the Bible. Is the Bible from the beginning of the Old Testament to the end of the New Testament. I was very happy, of course, to accept, and it was a colossal, Claudio. It was a huge project, 79 CDs with as many hours since it's an audio CDs. As many hours of symphonic music, 79 hours of symphonic music is a lot of music, with the participation of 600 actors, including 3 Academy Awards: Lou Gossett Jr., Marisa Tomei, and Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
And I worked for more than 2 years on this huge project, recording in Sofia, that I know very well, the orchestra, the National Radio Symphonic Orchestra, SIF 309 in Sofia, in Bulgaria. And I recorded everything there in Sofia. And then I moved to Tennessee, where I had the honor to conduct the Nashville Symphonic Orchestra, Nashville, of course, to present the project for the first time in US.
Wow.
That was a very huge project. You can find it in everywhere, on Amazon or whenever you want. Whenever you search The Word of Promise, you can find it.
I hope you got paid well.
I hope. I remember it seems, yeah. They did.
Yeah. If you were looking, if you were not a film composer, right? For whatever reason, what else would you have done in your life? Is any particular area that you like? If you couldn't do music, what else would you have done for a living? When you finished high school.
But if I hadn't been a composer, I would have liked to invent toys for children. I think it's something I love, to invent stuff.
Yeah.
And I love children. So probably another things I really love is cosmology.
Really?
And as an engineer, you can understand what I mean. And probably if I have had time, I would have liked to graduate in physics. I love physics.
It's not too late. You still do it.
I have a lot of stuff to do anyway. You're right, never late. Maybe in another life.
In the next life,
Anyway, loving both music and physics, I created 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, a project entitled Rendering Revolution. I don't know if you saw something about Rendering Revolution.
No, I didn't know. I don't know.
And I presented this project at the Maxi. The Maxi is the Museum of Modern Art in Rome. Rendering Revolution is practically is an audiovisual experience where music, painting, dance, video art melt within a specific space. Okay, try to imagine a specific space. Through a musical continuum, the spectator is guided in the observation of 4 artworks, each representing a revolution. This rendering revolution, by using a particular compositional technique, introduce a new element into the perception of music, the space. Here, the music changes along with the position of the spectator. So if you move in this space, you can change the music.
Yeah.
Because if you think about this, normally, the plastic art, like architects or of paintings, needs space. You don't need time. You need space for picture. Music needs time. Doesn't need space. With this experience, I try to use the space in music. So you, the spectator, decide with your position, and you change the music, deciding the kind of music with your position. The more you change your position, the more it changes the music. So of course, it's difficult to explain in words, but if you are interested, Claudio, to this kind of magic box, you please visit www.renderingrevolution.net.
Yeah, I will check it out. Yeah.
Revolution.net if you are interested. It's a very strange, and you know something, I tell you, because you are an engineer, there is something particular that I love in the physics that is called experiment EPR, Einstein, Podolsky, Rose. And it's something about subatomic particles. If you divide a subatomic an atom, if you divide, and one part of this atom goes in a part of the universe, and the other part of the atoms goes in the other parts of the universe, they are anyway related and linked anyway. They are linked together. It's something that is called entanglement.
Yeah.
Okay. And this kind of music experiment I did, try the inspiration from this. You are connected every time, as when you move inside this space, you are every time connected with this kind of music that change your perception inside this magic box. It's difficult to explain, but if you go to renderingrevolution.net, you can easily understand what I mean.
Yeah, I will check it out this afternoon. Yeah, I got my attention. It's very interesting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's complicated to grab your hand around entanglement.
If you go there, then you let me know.
Yeah, I will. Definitely check it out. Do you? I have only another 2 questions. You have tour, and you have played in different part of the world, in different cities, and with different orchestra. Is any particular concert, or perhaps it's the one from Memphis, that you look back and say, man, everything was beautiful. You could have died that night and go to heaven as a Catholic, person, because everything was good.
Yeah, I remember with great pleasure, in particular, one concert by Sarah Vaughan. Yeah. Sarah Vaughan was a great singer, a jazz singer here in Rome. Yeah. Another one I remember very well is the one of Earth, Wind and Fire in Monte Carlo 20 years ago. Yeah. 25 years ago. Time passed anyway. And when I was a student, this is a nice story. I remember Herbert von Karajan came in the Vatican, conducting the Mozart Requiem Mass. Okay, Cesare Croci assisted Karajan in preparing the orchestra in St. Peter Abbey. But Cesare Croce was also my teacher, too.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it was very exciting to observe the concert from the beginning to of the rehearsal till the end. I remember I was in my 20s. It was a very thrilling experience.
Yeah, I got you.
Very nice. That's
the story. Beautiful, beautiful for you. Yeah. And the last question: what are the plans for the near future? What are you working right now? And hopefully, you want to be touring with an orchestra or going.
But I'm actually writing theatrical music here in Italy, theatrical dramas. And I just started again, Claudio, because as I told you, everything had stopped due to the COVID problem, to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So the production quit. And I hope there is the opportunity to restart working on a very interesting French project called Chart 1821. Chart 1821 is a French project where an ensemble of artists, scientists and philosophers brought together by Emmanuel de Maximotin, stage director of the Théâtre de la Ville in Paris. He's promoting international theater. Yeah. And through the realization of theatrical performance, just with young people and just for young people.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. That's very interesting. As a composer, I am part of this project and can wait, of course, to restart working about it. And also, I just finished writing the soundtrack on the Tennessee Williams play, Sweet Bird of Youth. I don't know if you remember the movie with Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, yeah.
Yeah. Is the Sweet Bird of Youth. This is a Tennessee Williams play. And we are in theater, actually. And the you know something, Claudio? The star is my wife. She's an actor, as I told you before. Yeah. And
for you, man.
Yeah. And the director is Pierluigi Pizzi. He is a very famous director in all over the world, especially for opera director. And also, I'm starting another theatrical project about an Afghan writer. It's very interesting. I start next week. Other thing, the academic year at the Conservatory of Santa Cecilia is starting right now, and I have 3 of my students are about to graduate, so it will be hard work there. And about the concert, it's still too early, as here in Italy. Because the concert halls have not yet fully opened, and it's still difficult to travel abroad, as I told you before, with the AstraZeneca for me. Probably I need the 3rd dose of vaccine. We'll see. Anyway, I don't perform a lot, Claudio. I prefer to compose. That's my job. Yeah. I conduct and I perform in a recording studio. Every time I conduct my music, my composition. But I did sometimes performing concert, but very few. My job is to compose. I love to compose. That's my life.
Well, Stefano, thank you very much. I'm quite sure we will need to do a part 2 of this interview because there is a lot of stuff that I know you're busy. We don't have the time to cover it, but I wanted to thank Lisa Bernardini to put me in touch with you. She's doing a very good job in Italy with all the composers, film composer, movie director, so she's got a great job for her. So I'm very grateful to her for her to put us together. And hopefully I'm going to be in Italy soon, and I would like to invite you to dinner or lunch.
Of course, let me know.
Yeah, I will definitely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it for your time, man. Take it easy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good luck to you, man.
Okay, good luck.